guys, welcome back to another video with Naturally D. So as you guys can tell, in this video I'm going to be talking about my birth story. Honestly, my labor did not go the way I honestly expected it, but I couldn't have asked for a better delivery. So let's just get right into this video. Okay, so that Thursday, I gave birth to him on Thursday at 11 p.m. So that morning, I had a doctor's appointment, and I was 37 weeks and 6 days. So on Friday is whenever was always when I hit that new week mark. So on Friday, I would have been 38 weeks. So 37 weeks. 37 weeks, 6 days. I go to my doctor's appointment in the morning. He checks me. He says that I am 2 centimeters dilated, but I am not, my cervix isn't opened or even right at all. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm 2 centimeters dilated, but my cervix isn't open. I still have a couple more days. So that day, right after my doctor's appointment, I went to go get something to eat. And then I went to go pick up my dog because she was being groomed. So when I went home, it was nothing normal. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. I did my thing. I slept, ate. And so at this time, my first son is with my grandmother. Now, what I feel like is crazy is that Monday, I lost my mucus plug. I am going to insert the picture right here. So if you guys do not want to see nothing gross, then you can skip it. But I am going to show it just because there are a lot of women out there who don't know what a mucus plug even looks like or what to even expect. So I am going to put it up here. If you guys don't want to see it, then skip it right now because I'm going to put it up here right now. So on Monday, when I lost my mucus plug, I called my grandmother and I told her that, I lost my mucus plug, and from there, it's going to kind of be a waiting game. So she was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to go get, my first son, Eli. I'm gonna go get Eli on Tuesday. So I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't really think, it's gonna be that soon. But she was like, no, let me just get him. So, he's already out of your hair. So I say that to say my grandmother was like a saving grace, because when I went into labor Thursday night, I kid you not, it was like this. If I was to wait for my grandmother who lives in Pomona and I live in San Bernardino, if my grandmother was to come and get my son that night when I went into labor, I wouldn't have made it. I would have had my son either in the car or at home. So getting back to later on Thursday night. So Thursday night around, I say about like 4 o'clock, I started getting Braxton Hicks contractions. Now, I've been getting Braxton Hicks contractions my whole pregnancy, so it was nothing different. It was nothing, out of the ordinary for me. But then they actually started getting really, not just tight, but they started feeling painful. But it felt like a mild period cramp. So I'm like, okay, well, it's nothing that I can't deal with, so I still must be good. Now, so my boyfriend got off of work at 5:30. So he got home around 6. I kid you not. I swear, the Lord was on my side. He knew, like he just knew. He just knew. So my boyfriend gets home. I kid you not, I start having contractions. And the contractions to where I'm just like, oh, hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, that was a contraction. It was like one of those. So I'm just like, okay, that was super fast. And at this time I was cooking. Like, I was super hungry. Like, honestly, all I was doing was getting those contractions, or those Braxton Hicks, what I call them. So when Okay, so my boyfriend gets home, he takes a shower, I'm cooking, I'm in the kitchen like leaning over the counter, but then when the Braxton Hicks is done, I'm good. So I'm up still cooking. So he gets out the shower and I'm telling him, I'm like, babe, like my contractions are getting stronger, like they're actually starting to be painful. So 6:30 rolls around. Yo, I start having contractions that are painful. Painful. So I'm gonna say that my labor started around 4 or 5 o'clock, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. is when my labor started. I honestly wasn't thinking that I was in labor because my doctor had just said that my cervix is closed and, you know, it's gonna take a couple of days. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm thinking like, nah, like, you know, it's painful and stuff, but this isn't the real deal. This isn't the real deal. So, me and my boyfriend, we try to eat. He eats. I cannot, like, I'm trying to eat, but I am having a contraction every 4 minutes. And it's a contraction to where I'm on the floor on all fours. I'm either on all fours or my butt's in the air and my face is on the floor. To kind of, I don't know, that position honestly seems to help a little bit. But so I download this app really quick and I start timing my contractions. They are 4 minutes apart and I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, this progressed too fast, but let me time my contractions for an hour before I even call the hospital. For that hour, I was in pain, you guys. I was in pain. I couldn't do it. I couldn't eat. I was throwing up. And my contractions were 3 minutes apart. So I called the doctor. I called my hospital. And they're all like, you know, if the contractions start coming closer, you need to come in. So I'm like, okay, well, right now they're 3 minutes apart. So can I just come in? And she was like, yeah, come in. So we're getting ready. I'm not even getting ready. I'm having contractions back to back. So when the contractions went, like when I wasn't having a contraction, I was trying to do what I could do. But at this time, I'm in pain. I am in pain. And I'm just like, okay, yes, this baby is coming. So I call my brother to come get my dog. My son's already with my grandmother. We're getting ready. My bag's already done. My boyfriend, he's getting his bag done, or, you know, together. And he's helping me put on my shoes, my pants, everything. So we get to the hospital. And mind you, it's about 10:30 at night. Okay, so, excuse me. So there was nobody like on the streets going to the hospital. So it was super quick to get there. But honestly, that car ride was helping my contractions a lot in that fresh air. Like that ride was actually pretty smooth versus the contractions I was having here at home. So we get to the hospital. They tell me, you know, go ahead, go upstairs. But I couldn't even make it past the second door to where I had to sit down, and they were like, okay, let me just get you a wheelchair. And, you know, boyfriend wheeled me upstairs. They're doing like, you know, the intake. They actually have me trying to fill out papers. I was having contractions now probably every 2 freaking minutes. I'm not trying to file no papers. The hell? I'm about to give birth. Anyway, so I give the papers to my boyfriend, and then one of the ladies, she takes me to go, you know, for me to take off my clothes, get in my gown, and then I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, I'm sitting on the toilet, but I feel like I have to push, and there's blood on my underwears. So I told my boyfriend, I'm like, call the nurse now, please, like I'm bleeding. So the nurse comes. She sees, and she was like, you know, that's just fine. You know, the baby is, you know, he's really getting ready. So that bleeding is fine. But I'm like, I really have to push. And so she took me to the room. She checked me. Y'all, at like around 10:45, I was 9.5 centimeters dilated. Yo, literally 5 hours of labor. 5 hours of labor. And I'm 9 centimeters dilated. And I am freaking out. I am freaking out because this whole time I did want to give birth with no pain meds or anything like that. But I was in so much pain. I was just like, forget that natural birth. Give me that medicine. But the fact that they said that I was 9.5 centimeters dilated, I was like, what? Huh? I'm about to push this baby out of me right now with no medicine? Oh, I kid you not. I was freaking out. I was shaking in my mind. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. You know, at this time, she said 9 centimeters dilated. Bro, all the nurses rushed into the room. I honestly don't know what was going on. This was like my boyfriend had told me what happened afterwards. But in my mind, I'm freaking out. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of people just coming in and out. They wheel me to the labor and delivery room. The doctor's there immediately. So, you know, they're prepping me, getting me ready. During this whole time, I'm having freaking contractions like every minute. And, you know, they decide to give me the COVID test. And I'm just like, are you serious? You really about to stick this up my nose while I'm having contractions? And she was like, we really don't have to go that far. And it actually wasn't that bad. They just did like my nostrils, which I was really grateful for. But I was freaking out. I kept looking at my boyfriend like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I cannot do this. I need medicine. Like, I can't do this. So, you know, they have, you know, of course, my legs up. And they're like, okay, you're going to have to grab the back of your legs and push. I couldn't grab the back of my legs, you guys. I kid you not. When I was in so much pain. And that position, like the regular birthing position, was not comfortable for me at all. And, you know, the doctor kept telling me, like, you need to gain control of yourself. Hold your legs. It's going to make it more comfortable. I couldn't gain control of myself. I was freaking out. I couldn't grab onto my legs. So literally I'm holding on to the banisters or whatever with my legs propped up by themselves, and I'm just pushing. But I was freaking out so much that I guess I just wasn't pushing correctly. So the doctor told one of the nurses, she was like, if she's not going to push this baby out, we're going to have to take the vacuum and help her push this baby, and take this baby out. Right there, like something just clicked in my mind. I was like, let's go. Let's go. You are not about to take a vacuum and up my vajayjay and pull my baby out. No, you will not. So I got in my, you know, my mama mode, and I pushed, you guys. And I kid you not, like this, I probably did about like 4 or 5 pushes and he was out. But that ring of fire is no joke. Being like literally feeling that baby come through you, it burns. But I was so eager to not have that doctor use the vacuum on him, and I wanted him out. Like, I was tired of his pain. So I pushed him right out. He came out at like 11:02 or something like that. So literally my labor was 6 hours. My labor was 6 hours, and half of it I didn't even know I was in labor. So, excuse you, nasty. So literally my labor was 6 hours long. I was not even in the hospital for 30 minutes before I gave birth. But this was the most ideal labor I could ever ask for, because I wasn't just sitting in the room just waiting, you know, like literally it went bam, 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 bam. And if I would have went into labor and, you know, I had to wait, you know, all those hours in the hospital, I know for a fact I would have gotten that epidural. So I feel like the Lord heard my prayers, and he knew I wanted to go with no medication. I wanted to feel everything of my baby, and I just wanted this to go as smooth as I can. So, you know, that was my plan during my whole pregnancy. But when I was doing those contractions, I was like, fuck that. I need that medicine. You guys, like, contractions, I can't even, honestly, I can't even remember the feeling right now, because I feel like, you know, my body was just going through so much adrenaline and just all of that stuff. But I really cannot remember the feeling of contractions, but I know they hurt like hell. I would never, ever, ever wish that on like my worst enemy. You know, like that type of pain is a different type of pain. Like, it's a different type of pain. But I embraced, like, thinking about it now, like that, I'm just so glad I did it natural. I'm so glad I did it natural, because just to be able to feel my baby come into this world, but also be able to function after my baby came out. With my first son, I did have the epidural, and at that time I was 20 years old. Yeah, I was 20 years old. I had the epidural, and afterwards I was out of it. Like, granted, I felt good because I didn't feel any pain or whatever, but I was out of it. I was out of it, and there was a lot of what is the word? Interventions. I'm sorry. There was a lot of interventions for myself, like after labor and stuff. Like, for my first labor, I was pushing for 3 hours. So going from 3 hours of pushing to 5 to 6 pushes for a baby to come out, I honestly couldn't have asked for anything better. So, okay, so I'm gonna end right there. That was my labor story. I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you guys do want a shared nursery room tour, I would love to give that to you guys, but let me know if you guys are interested in that. I do share, you know, my baby's nursery is half of our room, but he has a really good size little side of the room. So yeah, let me know, comment down below if you guys want that video. But if you guys have stayed tuned for this long, thank you guys so much for this. I truly appreciate you guys. I hope you guys do subscribe and stay tuned for more mommy and me videos, more things about just raising my boys. I have 2 boys, about raising my boys and the things that, you know, we do during our lives. So just let me know what other videos you guys want when it comes to like babies and family. But again, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe and share this with anybody who's pregnant and who needs positive thoughts going into their labor. So again, thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, guys. Love you. Bye.